What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. You know what? I totally love the trolls and the meta players. Thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I especially love Toxic Shadows, talking about me being toxic when it's literally in his name. Um, yeah. So, I warned everybody you're going to hate me for pointing things out. You're going to hate me. You're just going to. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't. I have to play. I like bugging a lot. Like you said, this was my fun game, but then I get morons, trying to, follow your advice, and well, it doesn't work out so good. I'm just saying, and then I'm trying to explain it to them because they were fed bullshit. But yeah, interesting. So I'm unhappy today, because you know I remember when I got this ally, Batman Who Laughs, and when you saw the toxic um, encore, I was like, wow, people are really passing this one up because I didn't see. And then I remember Obsidian covering the same thing, and he was like, a lot of trolls sleep on this because of the debuff, and I'm like, no, that's pretty accurate. And to this day, it's still slept on. I don't have John Stewart. Never care to have John Stewart because when I ended up getting Starfire, I actually get a lot more, um, critical output with my power heals than I do with the shield from John Stewart. So if I want to push out more power, I would rather have Starfire. That's me, but I don't use Starfire. I use General Zod, obviously, and then I use the Batman Who Laughs for the debuff. Now, pretty much, it's not very active until you hit 20 below 25%. But once it applies, it goes down. Now, I did slot both of these because, as you can see, I do run Tetra Hydron. I just call it Tetrahydron, Hydron or Hydron. I just call it Tet for short. On this troll, I don't level it because I also run it on tanks. Um, because if it were up to me, I would rather have the Rings of Azure because my slots are filled. Because I'm going to use Hecate, I'm going to use Rayo, and I'm going to use the Claw. Right? So these three spots are just taken. I prefer the Sinestro's ring versus putting Scrap of the Soul Cloak on trolls. Oh my god, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Because it actually still, it's a lot more beneficial for me as a troll to, apply the Avatar of Fear versus just getting um, supercharged, because I get supercharged with this artifact. I don't know. You guys got to quit listening to bullshit, but whatever. But if it's tank, see, so my spots are kind of limited. So if a tank, a very good tank, knows how to boost up their health. Now I could put Hardy on my chest, but I actually take the supercharge, uh, restore, so I can push out my shields to help with power restore. But if I put Hardy on there to boost this up, because trolls do get two times. But if a tank has Hardy on their chest, which I'm not putting Hardy on my chest. Fuck you, and I'm definitely not giving up my vitalization mods. So fuck you too. Um, I'm a troll, so no, I'm not a tank. I'm a troll. Now here's the deal. these both are on the same cooldown. So if I'm going to use Tet and I use Heartbreak, then that's going to negate using Heartthrob. Heartthrob offers, using Heartbreak. Heartthrob gives me my health boost, which will increase the bonus to Tetrahydron. But if I use this versus that, I'll be able to apply debuff. So I much would rather have tanks pushing out that buff, and then me slotting the Rings of Azure in this place, boosting up his health, thus increasing the might bonus. But, you guys are the meta. You're the meta. But when it comes also to debuffing, debuffing is just as important as buffing. They say the buff trolls are meta. Yes, but debuffing is also important. Because when you debuff, it's increasing the damage output. So I really am like scratching my head like, you guys are aware when you're reducing defenses, you're pushing out more damage on the boss. Just saying. So when we do with the Toxic, now I do like Hard Light better than Quantum and all the other ones that are the meta, because my Light Blast, which reduces enemies' defenses, also applies to the Batman who laughs, so I'm able to apply, unlike any other troll, my finisher applies a debuff. And then also, when I activate the debuff under 25%, I can activate the Toxic Encore, reducing the defenses even further the higher the level goes. At this level, it's 3%. So I'm like, okay there, George. So I'm just going to get it down here to show you guys some stuff. We'll get it down to like... And you can pretty much do this on any target. Boss ones, mob ones. I'll show you guys on the group ones how it looks. Now, and the reason I mention this, because when you're in finishing phase, the card will come up. Okay, should be the next one. Okay, so there's the card. So let's go ahead and say use Heartthrob. And then there's that red dust. Now I got a double debuff on that target. See the little red thing? So now I just so that's why I would rather have the tank use Ted, use the Rings of Azure, bump up his health. But unfortunately, I'm surrounded by idiots, meta chasers that don't know how to count, and I'm stuck, trying to buff up people. So I'm using Heartthrob to boost up the Ted. I need to max it, but yeah, it's a problem. I'm surrounded, I promise. Now I'm just going to bring that, when I'm doing AoEs, now like I said, I do like buffing, but I try to take into consideration all factors when I play. Now, once upon a time, this was my main back in pre-Atlantis. Okay, the card should come up soon. Okay, there we go. Now look, that smoke is going to apply. So as you can see around their head, they're all affected by it. It's an AoE effect. So it trashes mobs pretty flipping quick. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not very productive prior finish phase, but during finishing phase, it is so relevant. So I would rather do that. Now, let's say I wanted to switch out. I personally, if I wasn't going to use Batman Who Laughs, I would definitely pick um, Starfire, because I'm going to push out way more on my critical values. Let's see, when that little hair thing comes in, your critical values go up so dramatically on your power heal magnitude. See? So, see, it went down after. So I had a 46, and then when I. And so all of my power heals are pushing out a lot more than John Stewart's, reduce on my shields. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a meta player, but yeah, I don't know. So I'm just like, wow, wow, wow. You can't make it up, I promise. You can hate me, guys. And the thing is, I'm like, nobody watches you. Why are you here then? It's hilarious. Why are you here? I like it because Solaris is like, he's desperate for attention. Dude, I'm walking around with the face of Charlemagne. I get attention anyways, you dumbass. Like, are you, like, when Germans see me, they're like, ah! I was like, oh my god. So, yeah. I don't think getting attention has ever been my problem. So, you'd be wrong there, bud. But, keep, trying. You guys even suck at trolling. You guys really suck at it. Just like you suck at counting. But, you know, it's all good. But yeah, I'm a numbers guy. Always have been. That's why I got into MMOs, and I warned you guys, I was one of those pricks. You know, I was one of those top raters in games, and I got tired of the clashing egos, and I was like, you know what, I just want to chill and do my thing. And I was doing that in ESO, and people were like, "Oh my god!" And then someone's like, "You might be something big in ESO, but you're nothing here, dude." I've been playing this game since 2012. This was my little getaway game. Like, I still remember when you used to have two trolls, one for your debuffs, and then you had your feeder. You guys don't even do that anymore because you didn't need to anymore. So, yeah. How many of you can even recall that? I bet you half of you can't. So, yeah, I personally, like I said, I have no respect for any of you. You're trash. You're all fucking trash. You suck. Meta. Oh, this is the meta. But, and one day I'll go over even group utilities. Because there's so many things that players are sleeping on. They're just oblivious. And I'm like, how are you even somewhat popular when you're a dipshit? I mean, skilled, yeah, but knowledgeable, no, 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 not really. And that's like, hold on, let me switch to my main. Um, so I just wanted to do this video and post it tonight and kind of get it out there. So there are certain factors that are just apparent. I might have set this up ahead of time. I don't know. I have to check. I'll take a look. I don't know. But with the Blue Lantern abilities and everything that you get going on, you can, like, I want to do one more thing with this tune. So, and I'll do it eventually. Um, but there's always like little things that people sleep on, and they're completely oblivious. And I like to when people are like, "Well, you have max arts," and like you have like I'm like, "Well, I have like X amount to change out too, but who's counting?" I mean, I'm really not. Um, I've already stated I think wolf packing was the shit when it was introduced, but I don't chase everything either. So, yeah. So when it come up to allies, you'll see that I'm running the Flash and I'm running Black Adam, but I'm using Flash Heal. And so every time I use a group heal, it grants supercharge to me and group healed group members. That gives them supercharge of 10 per heal per group heal. That's way more effective than walk it off, which only applies to me. So that's why I don't need the scrap of the soul cloak on my healer, because on my loadout I'm using 2 group heals. So my main group heal is ritualistic word, and then I have my empowering pulse. So just on these 2 heals, right? So you see my supercharge. I gotta be in combat though. 1 second. You gotta get actually. I have to take damage because I gotta be healed. 1 second. 1 second. I gotta go get some damage on me. All right. So we'll actually go back there. All right. So we'll go back and I'll take some damage, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So as I'm healing with group heals, anybody who's getting healed is getting a faster rate of recharge on supercharge, including myself. So that ends up working faster because I'm a healer. So as I'm healing, I'm building up the supercharge. Mine and other people's. It's like, yeah, well, I'm kind of healing anyway, so wouldn't I just want to apply the supercharge as I'm healing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that makes kind of sense. Okay. So, and then as you can see, it clicks up. So, see, as it's resolving, I'm just building the supercharge. So every time I'm healing me and other people, I'm building up that supercharge. Now you can use scrap, but I find it wasteful when you can actually use other factors. I would much rather put on Isis um, than that because it'll tick my chest piece, my supercharge for that every time I use it. So I'll get 25% back on triggering my chest mod, right? My supercharge. So every time I activate a supercharge, I'll get 5% back on this. So I would rather using Scrap of the Skull Cloak, I would rather even slot Heart of Isis that increases my healing output. So if I was going to remove like Clarion here, right? If I remove that and put in Heart of Isis, which you can do, I mean, that's probably how I would roll if I was running Elite instead of Scrap. I would put Heart of Isis, and every time you're cycling through that, you're getting a faster recharge from your chest proc than Scrap. So it's like, are you guys really that stupid? You are, because you put Scrap on a soul. I mean, fucking sakes, you're putting Quizlet. I just don't know. So yeah, so I'm very much a function person, and of course I use Starheart. Starheart needs to be final. I need to finish leveling Starheart, but this I would rather put this on my healers and boost up the person who's using Tet. So these are all staple for me. These three and this one. This is optional, but I like it. But if I were going to replace it, I would use Heart of Isis. So because I have multiple supercharged generators too, is why I use Black Adam. So when I'm using Black Adam, I have two supercharged generators. That builds up faster than even Flash. So I'm like, nah, I'll stay with Black Adam, and I'll stay, you know. That's what I'm saying. Like I can build up the supercharge pretty, if I'm really going to town. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Meta. I honestly don't. You guys are a little. I mean, and I told you it was going to hurt. It was honestly going to hurt. I warned you. You took one of my favorite games and you fucking polluted it with your fucking nonsense. You literally polluted in a community with your dipshit ways. I'm like, first it was the swapping, fucking morons. Then it was, oh my god, this and that. I do use the debuff on my healer. So, yeah, you literally can't make it up. You can't. I wish you guys the best. Good luck. Fucking morons. Have a nice day.